Industrial data requires stability, but what happens when stability drops? Introducing the FlowFuse Store and Forward Blueprint, a fantastic way to store and forward your data no matter what your network conditions look like. Hey there, I'm Christopher Sandoval. I'm a developer relations advocate here at FlowFuse.
And today I'm going to help you unlock Store and Forward in just a few minutes.
Ready? Let's get into it.
What is Store and Forward? So Store and Forward is a way of storing data during intermittent or unreliable network conditions.
And once the network quality is restored, you can then forward that data on to wherever it was supposed to go. Essentially, you're going to use a local SQLite database to automatically store data during transmission failure. And then once that problem is resolved, the system will automatically forward that data. This has some huge implications, but the biggest benefit here is that you're just not limited by your network conditions anymore. See, industrial automation uses a lot of edge devices. And in many cases, those edge devices live in environments where network connectivity is not really optimal. For instance, a steel plant is going to experience a lot of connectivity issues. And that's just due to the very process of smelting and forming steel. But data is still being generated and it has to go somewhere. And if you don't have a proper solution in place, it just goes to waste. This solution rectifies that issue. So let's check out how it works. This blueprint will spin up a local SQLite table behind the scenes, giving us a place to store every message in a buffer state. We're talking full metadata here: timestamps, payloads, send status, the whole story. And every piece of data that comes through gets written straight into that database. Think of it like a safety net for your telemetry. To check if the buffer needs to be forwarded, the system pings a remote server every 10 seconds to check if you're online. When your connection comes back, the flow automatically kicks off the forwarding process. Any buffered unsent messages get pulled out in efficient batches of 50 and then forwarded. If you prefer HTTP, MQTT, webhooks, or any other system, you can swap out the transport layers super easily. Once a message makes it to the destination, it's marked as sent and deleted from the buffer so that your database stays clean and fast. Using this blueprint. So to get started, all you need is a FlowFuse account. From the blueprint page, you can click Deploy to automatically go to the FlowFuse Instant Creation interface. If you're already in the interface, you can select this blueprint from the list of options. Once you've selected the blueprint and chosen your preferences, click the Create button to get going. Now that we're in the instance itself, we'll take a look at how the data is being generated. For this demo, I'm using a simulated sensor, but you can insert your own data by simply deleting the Simulate Sensor Inject node and putting your own data source in its place. Now make sure that your data flows into the Stringify JSON node. This is the node that will convert your data object into a text string for storage. The only caveat here is that if your data source is already in the form of a JSON string, you need to actually delete the Stringify JSON node and connect it to the next node instead. Now you need to choose your output. This blueprint uses project nodes as an example. Replace those with whatever you need and configure them accordingly.
The forwarding logic doesn't depend on any protocol, and it sends it through whatever output you configure.
So now you can deploy and test. Trigger your data source and watch the debug panel. If you need to adjust how frequently the system checks connectivity or forwards buffered data, just update the ping nodes interval. You can increase or decrease that value depending on how often you want the system to run its checks.
And with that, you have a clean, easy Store and Forward solution.
Now this is just one of the many blueprints that we've built out on FlowFuse. So if this looks cool, go ahead and click the link in the description below to go look at the rest of our blueprints. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And if you want to get started with FlowFuse, you can head to flowfuse.com for your free 14-day trial. This has been Christopher Sandoval. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.